Hello and welcome to Learn Python 5 Minutes a Day series. What are we going to do in our first lesson? I'm going to try to answer some questions that everybody has in their mind when they start learning a new language. Number one you have in your mind is, do I need any programming experience? The answer is no. We're going to learn it together with the understanding that we have not programmed before. Second question you have in your mind is, do I need to install Python? The answer is, for the purpose of our learning of Python, you don't need to install anything. What tools and resources do I need? As we progress in our lessons, I will introduce you to the tools and resources you will need or we are going to use, and then we're going to write our first program. So there are some basic terminology that are used in programming. Let's look at those terms. Number one, editor. You will hear this term a lot. What is editor? It's a tool that where you write a code. It's no different than a notebook, a notepad, or a word editor. It's where you write your program or your source code. Next, you will hear a term called run the code. What is run? It's an action you perform to execute the code that you have written in your editor and see the outcome of that program that you have written. Another term you will hear a lot, debug. What is it? What is debug? We are not perfect. We all make mistakes. Same thing happens when we write some program. If there is a problem in the code that you have written, it will show up as an error. So now you have to find the cause of that error. That action is called debug. Fixing the code will be later, but we will just stick to our term. Debug means finding the root cause of the problem. All right, so what do we need to write our first code? We're going to use Google Colab throughout this whole series, unless there's a need for something else, but we will stick to Google Colab. Here is the URL for Google Colab that you will use. Once you go to this URL, you will create your notebook. And that is all you need to get started. So let's do it. Let's write our first Python program. Open Colab. We're going to create our new notebook. On the upper left corner, you will see a name. It says Untitled 0. We're going to give it a meaningful name. We're going to call it Lesson 1. As we discussed, we talked about three basic terminology that we are going to use. First one was editor. Notice there is a small window which says Start Coding. That is a place what we call as editor, where you're going to write your program code. It's always a good practice to add comments to your code so that when you look at this code in the future, you will remember why you wrote this code. For now, we're just gonna write a comment which says this is lesson 1. Now we're gonna perform a simple arithmetic operation. We're gonna add two numbers. We're gonna keep it simple. We'll say y is, let's add two numbers, 2 plus 3. All right, we have now completed the arithmetic operation. Now we need to see what is the output of this arithmetic operation. Python provides a command or a function called print. We're going to use that and print our output y. And that is all we are going to do in our first program. A second terminology we used was run. That was that we want to execute this program and see what is the output of it. In Colab, you see there is a little icon here. You click on it. That is going to run the program that we have just written. And there we go. 2 plus 3 is 5, and it has printed our y as 5. Congratulations, you have written your first Python program, and that is all we are going to do in our lesson number 1. Now that we have written our first code, congratulations. Thanks for learning with us. Do subscribe and like our channel to stay up to date with our latest videos and our courses that we publish from time to time. Till next time, good luck, take care.